Today I want to talk to you about the Bose Quiet Comfort or QC35s. These noise cancelling Bluetooth headphones are an improvement over the QC25s in so much as they now have Bluetooth connectivity. Removing the wire makes for a much more pleasurable user experience. I own several pairs of headphones and up until now they've all been wired. Why? Well, mostly because they're fairly cost effective. I've got some Sennheisers which were fairly cheap. I've got some Sonys which were inexpensive but reasonable. However, they were all on ear, so the actual padded section went across the ear as opposed to around it. Now, firstly, this has the effect of making them a lot more comfortable when they actually fit around the ear. They place less pressure against your actual ear, and as a result, you don't feel or notice that they're there quite so much. Normally I wouldn't really endorse any item that has a high ticket value for the sake of having a high ticket value, be that because of the brand or because of the packaging or the marketing they place into it. But I've got to say actually, these headphones are actually really very good. In my personal experience, you hear a lot more of the music that you're intended to hear by the artist. You just don't hear the surrounding ambient noise, and that distraction alone is enough to perhaps not quite hear the cymbal strike or the tail off of the cymbal, or perhaps not really hear the full thud of a bass drum because you've got the car rushing past, or because the dog started barking out in the back garden, or myriad reasons that you would be distracted by the noises around you that would affect all of the nuances in the music that you're listening to. I've never actually owned Bose headphones before. I've got their SoundLink Bluetooth, like a little dock speaker. That's about as far as I've gone. A couple of other Bluetooth peripheral speakers, never headphones before. And up until this point, I've only really bought headphones up to about, say, £60–70. Now these currently retail at £289. £289. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But the end result is that whether you're trying to work in a noisy environment or whether you're trying to enjoy a movie or your music, your enjoyment, the fulfillment you get from that is, in my opinion, so much greater. Now, I know lots of people, certainly audiophiles, report that Bose has a very flat sound, and I guess they're probably right. I mean, there's no significant EQ like you would perhaps in a pair of Beats headphones. I don't own some, but certainly anywhere you look, they say, oh, they're really punchy, really bassy. Bose these Bose are fairly basic. I mean, there's enough bass there to know, but it's not knocking you off your seat, it's not rattling your skull. They're very, very comfortable. It's a fairly flat response. And in my opinion, against other headphones that I've owned, it's a very, very pleasant sounding tone. It's not going to be for everyone, and not everyone's going to want to spend £289 on headphones. To be fair, the only reason that I have these is because of money that came my way that I wasn't anticipating, and as a result, I offset that and they became a reasonable price out of the money that I've earned. That's how I treated myself. Now, for me, the other big consideration is, what do they look like? I mean, I don't want to wear a pair of headphones that are going to scream mug me. These don't, no. I mean, it's ever so subtle. From a distance, they just look like black headphones. There's nothing much to them. And actually, I really prefer that. I prefer understated. I prefer not to be screaming about the fact I'm wearing a pair of expensive headphones, because they're for my enjoyment. They're not for anyone else. I want to be able to be encapsulated in whatever audio it is that I'm enjoying. So, are they worth the money? In my opinion, yes, because I believe them to be an investment. People have commented on various forums. There are people on YouTube that comment on their original pair of QC15s or 25s. They've owned them for years and they're still in fantastic condition, still sound just like they came out of the box. And for me, if I still own these headphones in 5 years, that's great, because I would have actually gone through perhaps 2, if not 3 pairs of £60–70 headphones at the same time, and they would have been corded and I would have snagged it. Cables are just messy. You know, everyone wants the cable-free world, and these really do offer a fantastic cable-free alternative. Now, I know other Bluetooth headphones exist. I know other Bluetooth noise-cancelling headphones exist. I know Sony do some. I auditioned those. I can't remember the exact model number, but in my personal experience from auditioning those, I found that when there wasn't a lot of noise actually around you, and therefore the active noise cancellation wasn't working to actively cancel noise, that it had a hiss. There was a perpetual hiss or a permanent hiss. coming through, discernible to the point where it's distracting. And if you're in a quiet room wearing noise cancelling headphones, the last thing you should expect to hear is anything, let alone something generated by the headphones. I haven't found that with these. If the environment goes quiet, it's quiet. If the environment is noisy, it's quiet. Now, the caveat I will make to this is that they do a fantastic job of separating or eliminating lower tone frequencies. So the rumble of traffic, the rumble of an air conditioning unit, anything like that. If it's high pitch, like the clickety-clacking keyboards, you pick up a little bit. I'll gotta be honest, you pick up a little bit, but when you actually start playing music, when you actually start having an audio feed coming to your ears, very little, if anything, can be heard. They can be used for standalone noise cancellation without an audio input. Well, you just put on some ear defenders if that was what you wanted to do, I guess. But with audio coming through them, you hear very little of the outside world, unless it's high pitched. A yipping dog you might hear. Now, it does put you off slightly if you're walking with them. I definitely wouldn't recommend walking around the streets of an evening with them on, because you won't hear people coming. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't like sitting with their back to the door, these perhaps aren't for you. However, if you've got noisy kids, noisy animals, a noisy partner, and you enjoy listening to music and listening to videos, or even just want to immerse yourself in a game via your computer with a Bluetooth connection or wired, then these are a fantastic choice. Would I have paid the full amount if it was all coming out of my own money? I'll be honest with you, I probably would have elected to wait another month to save up to get them. So yeah, I would have bought them if the entire ticket price was coming out of my money, but I would have had to wait longer. So this is my investment in headphones for the next 5 to 10 years, hopefully 10, don't really want to have to spend the money again. They sound great, and I definitely recommend that if noise cancelling headphones are something that you think you might be interested in, go into the shop that's got them on the shelf and ask for an audition. Make sure they're powered, make sure you've got a Bluetooth enabled smartphone in your pocket with Spotify or your own library of music. Give it a go. Try it out. If it works for you, then great. They really are fantastic. I do think they're worth the money. I'd rather they were cheaper, and if they work for you and they work for the environment that you work or live in, they're a fantastic option.